This is why the gaming community is nothing but a joke, man. You trying to tell me that these PlayStation fanboys are coping so hard for the fact that this game's got a 82 on Metacritic according to Dreamcast guy and a 7 at IGN. But we all know if this was Microsoft, this game would be trash and it'd be garbage, right? But since it's Sony, oh no, the game's perfect. It's balanced, Obviously, these reviews don't know what they're talking about, even though there's nothing really remotely special about the game. If especially if you played games like Bayonetta, Nier Automata, and Astral Chain, which a lot of you fake wannabe PlayStation fans did not play because you think that only PlayStation can make these manly grown-up games for some reason. But come on, man. We clearly can see through your hypocrisy because if this was Xbox in this situation, y'all be bashing it. Oh, it's trash. Look at this garbage game, scored a 7 or 8 on Metacritic. I thought PlayStation gamers said during the PS4 that they only play 9 and 10s. And now all of a sudden, you guys went from AAA games to double A's to now 9 and 10s to games that are rated 82 on Metacritic? Like, I'm not justifying or saying that the game's bad because of it. I'm just using your own logic against you because, to be honest with you, matter of fact, I played games that got rated a 3, and to me, they were better than the games that were rated 10 out of 10. So we already know that this whole professional gaming journalism is all fraudulent, but the fact that you people try to use this to bash other people's platforms is ridiculous to me, and I will continue to call this out. Because if you people really thought I wasn't going to touch up on this situation after all these 9s and 10s that they had on the PlayStation 4, well, then you don't really know what's in store.
Gamers Dreamcast guy here, and today we're talking about Stellar Blade because even though it is bright and early on Wednesday morning, the game drops Friday. However, everyone's a hater, but if it was Hellblade 2 getting a 6 out of 10, it'd be perfectly justified. I mean, we already know you're going to give the game a 10 out of 10, bro. Like, why are you even talking right now? Like, this man's already setting it up, bro. I could make a bet for $1,000 and he's going to give Stellar Blade a 10 out of 10, man. Who's willing to make this wager? I'm telling you, he's going to give Stellar Blade a 10 out of 10. And I guarantee if he decides to troll me with a 9.9 or a 9.5 or whatever the case is, then he obviously watched the video and he want that $1,000 from me. Okay? Clearly, it'd be pretty evident, man. Because we already know that Dreamcast guy be just giving 10s out of 10s to everybody that got the PlayStation insignia, man. Like, I don't even know how people even think this dude's even remotely trustworthy. Calling people haters. Maybe they just didn't see it the same way you did. So what? Not everybody likes the same games. Oh, they gave it a 7 out of 10. I think the game... Bro, you didn't even play the game, bro. First off, at least they can say they played it. You haven't played it yet, man. And even when you decide to play it, you're going to give the game a 10 out of 10 because it's on your PlayStation 5 as an exclusive game. Now, the real question is, how much is the game going to sell? Released the review embargo, so everybody who's secretly been playing it for the last couple weeks can finally tell us about the carnage and the combos and everything about how great it looks. To be honest with you, man, after playing the demo, bro, this is just my honest opinion. The game is mediocre, bro. Like, if you play Nier Automata, Bayonetta, Devil May Cry, there's nothing, even Neo, bro. There's nothing that remotely special about the game. Now, if the game's good, yes, I think it's, relatively good, but it's not $70 good, man. As much as you people want to, it's one of those games that I'd probably play on PlayStation Premium and then unsubscribe. It's, to be honest with you, that's why I try to tell you that Sony should copy this philosophy of Game Pass because a lot of the games they come out with now are just one and dones. I don't see myself going back and trying to replay Stellar Blade. Not really. Now, if it came out at launch, it's probably something I'd pay $60 for. But no, not 4 years within the PlayStation 5's console generation. And the crazy thing is, y'all don't want to talk about how the resolution mode is at 30 FPS. And the balance mode dips pretty badly. Oh, but performance mode, they made sure that they got the performance mode correctly. I wonder what resolution is running at for them to be getting that performance mode like that. So, resolution, that mode has what? That has a 30 FPS, right? Which Hellblade's probably running a graphically demanding game. So obviously, it just goes to show you. Look, y'all don't want to. Yeah. See, what is it? What are we arguing with? What are we arguing at this point? Are we arguing at the fact that Microsoft is not downgrading their gaming experience to get 60 FPS?
or so, because I really do think that Stellar Blade has been downgraded, personally. Resolution mode don't really look like nothing. Balance mode drops pretty badly, even though you guys said that it could achieve 60. On top of the fact that, to be honest, performance mode is actually the best option. Wow, Sony finally showed that performance option is the best option. No point for quality mode, because we know you guys don't play at 30, and the game don't really look that impressive. On top of balance mode, which kind of gives you a little bit of both, which has a lot of frame pacing and frame dips, right? What you guys are against. I personally don't care. And then you got performance mode that runs at a stable 60. But I wonder what type of resolution the game's running at. Because on top of it, if you really think about this, not really that much going on in that game. Like how, you see, do you guys get what I'm saying? They complain that Starfield is at 30 FPS, even though the game is an open world game with thousands of planets, and yet you can't even play a linear hack and slash game. Let's remember, a linear hack and slash game, and you couldn't get this game at 4K 60? Y'all like, oh, Snap Game said that's a good point. Even Devil May Cry has a 4K 120 frames per second. It doesn't really hit it consistently, but it can do 4K 60. So what's going on here with this game, man? Y'all like, oh man, Gamester, you might have got onto something. I did. They don't want to bring that up, man. So it shows you that every time with the PlayStation, your console's not any more powerful than the Series X. I just exposed it for you. The fact that you guys are never even going to touch resolution mode and you're going to sit there and play the game in performance, you can tell that the game was severely downgraded just so Sony could put 60 FPS for that game. Even in balance mode, the game dips pretty badly. I seen it. Like I said, I don't care. To me, the game would still be very playable, but according to these PlayStation fanboys, they can't play it.
And the scores are surprisingly positive. In this video, I want to take a look at the people that love it.
But it ain't no 9 and 10s, though. So therefore, the game is not a high-quality game. Remember what Sony said about Days Gone? You know, if the game is not getting a good Metacritic score, why should we bother? Well, I guess this is the same example. And I'm not saying, guys, listen, I want people to understand. Just because I'm saying these comments doesn't necessarily mean that this is my point of view of the situation. It's my point of view in exposing the hypocrisy that has been going on in this gaming community for quite some time. You have a thumbnail of the game having an 82 on Metacritic, right? We don't even know the sales. That's what you guys should be more concerned about. And if this was Xbox, y'all would be bashing and trashing the game. Y'all would be bashing and trashing it. Y'all know this, man. Deep inside, y'all know that if this was 82 on an Xbox game, this game would be trash and it'd be garbage, and y'all would be comparing it to your glorious 9s and 10s on PlayStation 4. So let's keep that same energy. I mean, this is the energy that you guys put out, so let's keep it. The game is garbage now.
It's the scores, the ratings, and kind of the people that are the most negative on it. Because I will admit, I thought this game looked good. I enjoyed it.
Of course, because it has the PlayStation insignia. But if the game dropped on Xbox like it was supposed to through the whole multi-platform and not this contract that Sony got, you would be hating on it. I guarantee you're going to give this game a 10 out of 10, man. Like, these dudes are so predictable, bro. Like, I swear, you know what, man? This is going to be the perfect time to push memberships. I don't care, right? Because I'm just doing it for comedy. I don't care if you guys subscribe or whatever. But I'm going to just do this as comedic. Guys, if he reviews Stellar Blade at 10 out of 10, y'all gotta join my membership. Just join the lowest tier if you want. I don't care. Like I said, it's just mostly a joke. But this is funny because I really do think that he's going to give this game a 10 out of 10, bro. I do think this. And if he gives the game a 9.9, he still gave the game a 10 out of 10 because that means he's trying to spite me. Because we already know Dreamcast guy don't be doing these 8.3s and these 9.5s. We already know it's either 7, 8, 9, and 10. He always does a solid number. You know what I'm saying? I'd be very shocked if he gave this game a 9. He's giving it a 10 out of 10, bro. Watch. Let's go.
I did kind of expect some people to rip it apart. Let's get into it.
Why would you expect people to rip this game apart if you thought the game was good?
I hope you're having a great day. If you could, give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Okay, so...
Bro, reviews don't matter. Oh, now they want... See, they're preparing for the coping. This is all it is, guys. They're preparing for the coping. Look, now PlayStation fanboys are saying that a 5 out of 10 is an average game. No, that's not true. No. Hold on. Why y'all sitting there trying to change the review system? Hold on. First off, that's not considered an average game. A 7 is actually considered an average game. If we're talking about review metrics, yes, a 7. 6 is kind of considered bad. 5 is actually considered bad. You know what I'm saying? So you PlayStation fanboys are coping right now because you guys are afraid of what this game is not good. 7 is not mid. Actually, it is. Actually, it is. That's where you're wrong.
And to sort of prepare myself to film this video, and I noticed before this even dropped, before the embargo was up, there were a bunch of these journalists talking about the fact that the game may actually get a 5 out of 10. I'd like to remind everybody that a 5 out of 10 game is average. Everything above that is a good game. People that are going to give Stellar Blade a 6, 7, or 8 are not haters. Well, it turns out it got almost no 6s or 7s.
There you go, but it's got an 83 on Metacritic. That is still pretty low for a PlayStation exclusive. That is still very low. You don't want to talk about that. You are only using the positive reviews that this game's gotten. You know what I'm saying? So explain, because those happen to look like some really good reviews there. So why is the Metacritic score still so low though? I see a few 9s, 8.8. So why? That doesn't make sense though. So obviously somebody dropped out some reviews that were way worse than what you're showing. And that's another thing too. You guys hand pick and hand select which reviews you want to show and which ones you don't. You already could tell this game is bad if PlayStation Universe can't even give the game a 10 out of 10. Even they know their game's average. It's PlayStation. Oh, it's biased. It's biased. Oh, PlayStation Universe is biased? Really? Y'all gonna go there with that? Really?
It's like it got quite a few 8s and 9s. Okay, so just looking at the numbers, clearly this is probably not Game of the Year material.
We all knew this, though. We all knew this. We all knew this is the type of game that should have came out when the PlayStation 5 launched. In my personal opinion, this was not the type of game you wanted to wait 4 years. At this point, I don't even think it's the reviews. I think a lot of these PlayStation dudes know that Stellar Blade is going to pale in comparison to Hellblade and 2 in regards to next generation. They know this. The cap and the salt has finally come out, man. Y'all ain't fooling nobody. Y'all would rather play Hellblade 2 than play Stellar Blade, man.
I think it looks cool. I like the art style. I like the bosses and stuff. But okay, it's not going to be anybody's favorite game of all time.
Yeah, we kind of knew this.
I must admit,
and this is why I'm afraid, because now I'm starting to question if this game's going to sell or not. Rebirth had a hard time selling, so Stellar Blade might even be worse.
These scores are pretty dang positive. It sounds like the lowest one of these early reactions is IGN, which gave it a 7 out of 10. Now, part of the reason I thought this game was going to get lower review scores is because of sort of the attacks on its aesthetic. This. Hades is the...
Oh, here we go. Now we talking about agendas, man. I thought, Dream, stay out of this, bro. Really? The funny thing is, you people are out here saying that these games are getting bad review scores based on other factors, right? Come on, bro. I guess this could have been going on for a long time. When they were giving 9s and 10s for these walking simulators on PlayStation, I thought they were pretty biased then. I'm like, where are you guys evaluating the gameplay? What are y'all doing? Watching a movie? When they gave Walking Dead a game of the year, a game that has no gameplay, I started thinking it was biased. It's a video game, not a movie, not a novel. Now, I'm not saying that there's not specific categories for these or genres that I do. Like I said, I like Shenmue, and that's a cinematic experience, but a lot of that does still have gameplay, though.
Kind of hot with deep right now. This was a strange article post the game. I already have it pre-ordered. I've already put 3 or 4 hours into the demo, beating it again and again. But let me actually take a look at, here is Metacritic. Here, let's actually refresh this, make sure we have the highest score.
Oh my God, Metacritic, bro. Just as bad as Twitter, bro. Metacritic and Twitter, oh my God, bro. You people use these websites way too much, man. Y'all be giving these sites too much traffic, man.
It just dropped down. It was at 83. It just dropped down to an 81.
Oh, so it's an 81 now. Well, hey, it shouldn't stop you. It's like, why are you upset about that? If you're really looking forward to playing this game, Dreamcast guy, he's going to drop his fraudulent review of 10 out of 10 to boost up the Metacritic score, right? Oh my God, you gamers are sad, dude. Sad.
On Metacritic, it does this thing where it'll have a little thing called a blurb, where they essentially take the most core little paragraph and kind of slice that out and put it on a plate for you. Okay, so Let's take a look at the most positive, and
And the
let's
funny thing is, most casuals don't even use this. Most casuals probably don't even know this exists. The only people that know this website even exists is fanboys, bro. Like, do you hear? Like, I mean, you always hear about the fast movies and how bad they've been getting, and it is true. A lot of those Fast and Furious movies are getting trash, right? You know what I mean? But it's like, but people still watch it though. Because people don't follow what people. Oh, I'm watching this on Rotten Tomato, and they said that the new Fast movie is a 2.8 out of 10. I'm not watching. They still watch it. They still watch it, regardless of how bad it is. They still watch it. And the funny thing is, that's where the whole saying "everyone's a critic," right? You ever heard of that saying? Because anybody can be, and it's that simple. Nothing's perfect.
scroll down and take a
It's
look at
about
the
what your enjoyment. You said you was looking forward to the game. That's all that matters, man. You know, the problem is they are afraid that this game's not going to score the way they thought it was intended to score, like a 9 or a 10. And that's all it is, man. You're not a gamer, bro. Gamers don't care about this type of stuff. We just play games.
most negative, which in this case is still only a mixed review. So
Wow.
currently it has 54 positive reviews, 7 mixed reviews. Stellar Blade stands out as one of the best action-adventure games of its generation. Its combat system is both deep and
Nah,
multi-layered.
I disagree. You got better games like Neo. I mean, Scarlet, bro, there's so many games within this genre, bro. Like, I don't know how you people even. And on top of that, this game is linear. Elden Ring is actually more impressive for the fact that it's also open world and also can somewhat maintain a 60. This game's not pushing boundaries, bro. It's linear, it's sectionals. It's like, if you really think about it, you have to ask yourself, what makes this game next gen? And then on top of that, you could be like, man, I do think that this game could run on the PS4 Pro. You know what I mean? Like, can we all be honest? I think the game looks like it could be done on the PS4 Pro. It's not that impressive visually. I'm just saying.
Ensuring that every
And I'm not even trying to be
encounter is an
disrespectful. I'm just being
exhilarating
honest with y'all.
experience. Now, that's something that I definitely got from the demo. Offering a range of options, players can tackle enemies in several ways, be it through offensive
They gotta
maneuvers.
run a game like this, man. Starfield runs a game of an open world structure with 1,000 planets at 30 FPS, and you guys can barely even run a game like Stellar Blade, a game where you just hack the same repetitive enemies over again, with not that many enemies on screen like Devil May Cry. Trust me, huge difference. And it still can't even maintain 4K 60 on a resolution mode. Like, you guys gotta understand, this is embarrassing. I'm gonna use this as an art. Well, it still got the 60 FPS mode though. It doesn't matter. You shouldn't even have a mode for this. This game should be 4K 60 off the box. Y'all like, what? Yeah, it's not that demanding of a game. It's not that demanding. Well, hack and slashes can. Yeah, but there's not that many enemies on screen. Have you noticed that? This is not no Elden Ring. This game is not demanding. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is more demanding than this. How about I go as far to say that? In that game has a 60 FPS option. Y'all like, oh, GameStop, oh, you must be on to something. So y'all sit there and tell me that the PlayStation's pushing boundaries, but yet they can't run 4K 60 and a ledge hack and slash game, mind you, right? Where frames per second would probably mean the most, right? A hack and slash game or a shooter or an online shooter, those things, frames per second, do help. You know, but what Hellblade 2 is doing, you don't really need all those frames and shit. You know, you just need like a nice played game. You know what I mean? It's a narrative story game. Like, I mean, y'all notice y'all play PlayStation games. Y'all are familiar with this. So the whole 60 FPS is not necessary, but a hack and slash or online shooter or, you know, even some first person shooter single players, it's kind of necessary. It really is. So, hey, y'all want to cap for this, but go ahead.
Defensive strategies. Okay. That sounds freaking sorted, as long as you don't mind the obvious sexualization. There's a few rough areas, but nothing that spoils things overall, and there's plenty of interesting story to uncover as you fight your way through giant monsters with circular saws for heads and weird tentacles for legs. Yeah, this sounds great. This even their negatives sound like positive to me. Yeah, I want to.
Yeah, he's hurt.
A big
Let's
sexy
go.
lady to chop up monsters that don't make sense. That sounds incredibly freaking fun. I mean, this sounds like a guy.
You hate a hurt in this man's heart, knowing that this guy, and you already know he's a PlayStation fan, 6-axis. Come on now.
Being like, yeah, this ice cream is delicious and it's super cheap and it's giant. It's like, yeah, okay, give me that. Give me this ice cream right here. Let me actually, for funsies, let's actually take a look at IGN's full review. It's bad. Bad pacing is certainly an issue, but As it currently exists, I think this is very positive. I mean, I guessed personally, I thought it was going to get like somewhere in the range of high 80s. I said, yeah, I guessed high 80s.
I'm done, bro. Like you guys, like you heard it. You heard it. High 80s, bro. Look, if y'all didn't get that, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, man. Like I said, take care.